Yesterday in the Commons, George Osborne, under pressure from Ed Balls, promised that the Ministry of Defence would reveal in the next few days just how much the Libyan operation is costing so far. Well, I can tell you that tomorrow there will be a written ministerial statement from Liam Fox's MOD, and I am told, although this is not confirmed by the Ministry of Defence, that that figure will be around about the £200 million mark. On Sunday on Sky News, Danny Alexander, the Treasury Minister, said it could well be running into hundreds of millions of pounds. Now, this figure will be fiercely disputed. Plenty of Labour MPs and some Conservative MPs tell me this doesn't include the cost of costly cruise missiles, bombs, weapons and so on, which will have to be replaced. The argument is they're in the stocks, the MOD had them, so they haven't had to go out and buy them, as it were, but they will have to be replaced at some stage. So this figure is likely to be disputed when it's revealed by Dr. Fox tomorrow.
Now, John, another general's been speaking out about the defence cuts today, but the Prime Minister had a riposte.
Well, we've now had, haven't we? We've had the Navy, the RAF and now the General. And yesterday, of course, in his news conference, the Prime Minister said he sometimes wished that he could say to the generals or the military, you do the fighting, I'll do the talking. Well, this prompted a real clash over our overstretched armed forces in Libya between the Prime Minister, who was tackled by the Labour leader today, Ed Miliband.
When our military chiefs raise concerns and raise legitimate concerns about the conduct of our operations, surely it's not the right thing to say you do the fighting and I'll do the talking. In retrospect, Mr. Speaker, wasn't that very crass and high-handed?
I have huge respect for the people who run our armed services. They do an incredibly good job. They are very professional people, and they're involved in the National Security Council. They were involved in drawing up the Strategic Defence Review. The only point that I have tried to make in recent days is I think when you are at war, and we are in both Afghanistan and Libya, I think it's very important, whether you're a political leader or whether you're a military leader, to think very carefully about what you're about to say.
Well, at one point during Prime Minister's questions today, the Prime Minister seemed to admit that there had been a review of the Strategic Defence and Security Review. Well, later, Number 10 said that was not so, that they were just keeping a review ongoing all the time of the needs of the military and the cost and so on. And the Prime Minister's spokesman rather rudely said that anyone who wanted to engage in a debate about reopening that Strategic Defence and Security Review was taking part in what he called a stupid debate.